Well, this is Sunday. I'm gonna try to make a small batch of blackberry jam from some wild blackberries we picked yesterday evening. I put them in the pot, just with a little water over them. Bring them to a boil and then let them set. I want those cell walls broken so that I can put them through my Victoria food strainer. Now, this is not the correct hopper for it. That's my canning funnel. Somehow I've misplaced the hopper, but I got all the other parts, so I guess I'm good there. This is also not the berry screen. This is tomatoes and apples. So it's going to let some seeds and stuff through, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind. I just didn't want all the seeds. Wild blackberries are very seedy. So I just wanted some of the seeds left and the rest of them to go over there into that bowl. I haven't put my towels down on here or anything. Board looks pretty terrible the way it is. Excuse that. Anyway, took me a minute to get my food strainer put together because I almost forgot how to do it. Excuse me, but I got it together and try to get it going here and just started doing them. Started grinding them through. This board isn't fastened down, so I'm having to hold on to it while I turn, but you can see there's some of it coming out. And there's some seeds, and that's fine. Like I said, it's fine. The rest of it will go right out the end into that bowl. So I'm going to finish doing the cranking on this thing and then show you the finished. Okay, as you can see, there is some pulp and some seeds, but there's a lot of juice. It's really nice, thick juice. And over here, it's practically dry coming out of there. I may try putting it back through there, I may not. I may just sugar this down and turn it into a kind of a candy. I don't know. Haven't made up my mind yet. This is the beginning of a small batch of strawberry jam. Put my jars into my... It's just a stock pot, y'all. And this is going to be a small batch of jam, so I think 2 12-ounce jars and 2 16-ounce jars are probably more than enough. Now, I'm going to tell you, I fill my jars about halfway full of water. And I fill my stock pot or whatever canner I'm using for water bath about halfway full of water. By the time I dump this water in there, I shouldn't lack very much having it over the top of the jars by about 1 inch. That's all it's going to need. It's going to only get a 10-minute water bath. I measured 5 cups of juice and pulp into the pan that I'm cooking my jam in. And this is 5 cups of sugar. You can see it's kind of lumpy, but it's not going to matter. This is a no pectin recipe. I'm just going to cook it until it reaches 220, and then I'm going to lid on my canner, on my stock pot. You always need a lid on there when you're boiling water bath because it keeps the heat in. Helps to keep splashovers. And also it allows you to turn the heat down to a gentle boil. My hands look awful. Messing with all these berries. Look here. I'm all purple. Anyway, I'm going to bring this up to a boil. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in it to help reduce foaming. And when it comes to a boil, then I'll put the sugar in it all at one time and stir it. And I'll get my thermometer and check sure that I get up to 220 degrees. Okay, I'm ready. As you can see, it's boiling. Watch out for the steam. I'm ready to put the sugar in all at once. I'll have to scrape that out. Get this stirred in a little bit. I'll scrape that out and bring you right back. Sugar out of that measuring cup, the big 4-cup measuring cup, I put 5 cups of sugar in there. The reason it stuck is because I also used it for some of my juice, so to measure it. So now I'm going to bring it to a boil, stirring constantly. This is the hardest part of it, I think. I don't know, maybe picking the blackberries is the hardest part. Anyway, bring it to a boil. I'm going to boil it down until it reaches 220 degrees. Now it has reached a boil that I cannot stir down. You probably can't see the temperature. It's hard to see. It's at about 215. A few more degrees to be 220. And then I'm probably going to let it boil for just about 5 minutes after it reaches 220, and then I'll put it in jars. Happy to see I have no foam. Kind of happy, because sometimes that foam is our first indication of if it's going to gel and how it's going to taste. But I'm going to let this rest and let whatever solids are in there get ready to be stirred in. Let it rest about 5 minutes, and then I'll start putting it into the hot jars. And I'm ready to get out a jar. I'll dump the water back into the canner, and it's at a simmer right now. I think I want a pint jar for the first one. Bring it over here. Set my funnel in it. That's the same funnel that I used. Sorry about the steam, y'all. It's the same funnel that I used for as a hopper on my food strainer. Now, I put an old towel down because I really don't want to get so much mess on these new ones. So I'm going to give it a little stir. Try to even out all the solids with the liquids. And y'all, if this don't turn out to be jelly or jam, sorry about that, it's going to make real good syrup, I'm pretty sure, because I already took a little taste of it. I'm going to bring it up to the 1/4 inch headspace line. That is pretty far up right there, I think. I could use a little more in it. 1/4 inch is pretty high up. Now, people that don't like any of the seeds in here could get a berry screen and get all of the seeds out. But we don't mind some. I just didn't want the whole jar to be just seeds and nothing else. Okay, wipe the rim. Put on a lid and a ring. And you probably know what's next. Put it on the towel. There, that's as tight as I want it. Turned it as far as I want to. Put this jar back in the canner. And get out another jar. And I'll continue until I've got all the jars filled or I run out of jam. I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Well, that got me, let's see, 2 pints, 2 12-ounce jars, and almost a half pint in here. I'm not going to can this one. I'll just put a lid on it, an old lid and ring on it, and we'll use it right away. And I'm not upset about that because these are fresh picked wild blackberries from our own property, so the berries didn't cost us any, well, unless you count the land payment. Basically, the berries were free, except for the sugar. There's not much cost in this because I didn't even use pectin. Bring you back. There we go. 2 full pints, 2 12-ounce jars, and almost a half pint back here that we'll eat right away. All done. All canned up, just waiting for them to cool so I can take the rings off, clean them up, and mark the tops. So that's not too bad. I'm out of half-pint jars. I have got to get some more half-pint jars for jam and jelly. But anyway, this will do for now. Thanks for watching.